Good day, everyone. I am Kentra Arducenos, and we are the Group 5. Biotechnology is one of the most powerful scientific tools of our time, transforming agriculture, medicine, and even the environment. But with great innovation comes with a great responsibility because biotechnology involves modifying living organisms. It carries potential risks that must be carefully managed. That is why laws and regulation plays a crucial role. They ensures that every biotechnology product from GM crops to medical breakthroughs is developed and used in a way that is safe, ethical, and beneficial to society. Today, we will explore how both the Philippines and the global community regulate biotechnology to protect human health, preserve biodiversity, and promote responsible scientific progress. So, the title of our topic is Laws and Regulation of Biotechnology, with the theme of biotechnology with responsibility and balancing innovation, safety, and susceptibility. Next is biotechnology regulation in the Philippines. So, biotechnology is used in major fields like agriculture, like GM crops, livestock improvement, and in medicine, like vaccines and diagnostics, and also in environment, like waste treatment, pollution, pollution control, because it deals with living organisms. It can pose risk if not controlled. So the Philippines regulates biotechnology to ensure safety for humans, safety for animals, protection of nature and biodiversity, and ethical and sustainable use. The government uses laws, guidelines, and agencies to make sure biotechnology is not misused. So, objectives of biotechnology regulations. The goals of biotechnology regulations include one is protect human health and environment. This is to prevent this is to prevent harmful or unsafe GMOs being being released. Two is promote ethical research and innovation. This is to make sure scientists follows moral rules and do not harm people or animals and even in our environment. So three is to ensure transparency and accountability. So this is to process must be open to the public with clear decision making. And four is main, maintained by safety and by security. This is to research facilities must be safe and secure. And five is support sustainable development. And this biotechnology should benefit society long term without harming ecosystem. So my question is, how can weak or outdated regulations affect human health, the environment, or the safe use of biotechnology? So, otro, how can weak or outdated regulation affect human health, the environment, or the safe use of biotechnology? Next, that's slide 4. So, global biotechnology regulations. Important global agreements that guide biotechnology use worldwide. One is Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety in 2000. Governs governs the safe handling, transport, and use of living modified organisms and uses the precautionary principle. Nagoya Protocol on 2010 ensures fair sharing of benefits when using genetic resources like plants, animals, and microbes. And, and World Health Organization or WHO oversees biotechnology used in public health such as vaccines and lab safety. And WTO TRIPS agreement protects intellectual property for biotech products and inventions. So, proceed sa categories of biotechnology regulation. Biosafety regulation. Prevent risk from GMOs and lab experiments. Next is sa 2, bioethics regulations. This ensures research respects human values, animal welfare, and rights. So third one is intellectual property rights or IPR. This protects inventions, allowing researchers to patent their work. And 4 is environmental regulation. This ensures biotech does not harm ecosystems. And the last one is food and health regulations. Sinisud siya is gini-ensure. This ensures GMO foods and biotech medicines are safe for consumers. So my question number 2 is, which category of biotechnology regulation do you think is most important for society and why? Otro, which category of biotechnology regulation do you think is important for society and why? So proceed ta sa next slide. So, Philippine regulatory framework. Biotech in the Philippines is governed by Republic Act number 9335 and related policies. And related policies. National Committee on Biosafety of the Philippines or NCBP established in 1990. NCBP evaluates biosafety to ensure safe biotech use. Key government agencies involved. One is Department of Agriculture. So, Department of Agriculture oversees biotechnology in agriculture, fisheries, forestry, evaluates GM crops for human safety, environmental impact. Number 2 is Department of Science and Technology or DOST. It provides scientific research, conduct risk assessment for biotech projects, ensures technology follows ethical and safety standards. So, number 3 is Department of Environment and Natural Resources. This evaluates biotech activities that may affect biodiversity or ecosystem. So number 4 is Department of Health. Ang Department of Health is ensures biotech products for human safety, oversees foods, vaccines, pharmaceuticals, and sa number 5 is Bureau of Plant Industry or BPI under nagyapit siya sa DA. This approves GMOs for importation, commercial release, and field trials, and also ensures proper monitoring of GMO crops. So, sa question, proceed ta sa question number 3. So, question number 3 is, do you think the Philippine government agencies are fully equipped to regulate rapidly evolving biotechnology like CRISPR? Why or why not? Otro, do you think the Philippine government agencies are fully equipped to regulate the rapidly evolving biotechnologies like CRISPR? Why or why not? So, proceed tayo sa slide 9. Regulatory phases or stages. A biotech product must undergo several steps before approval. One is application. One is application. This a developer submits proposal describing the biotech product. And two is risk assessment. Experts check if it poses risk to people or the environment. And three is public consultation. Citizens, farmers, NGOs, and scientists can give feedback. Four is decision and approval. Government decides Government decides to approve or reject the product. And five is monitoring and compliance. This is to approve products are regularly inspected to ensure continued safety. So, number 10. Biosafety and public consultation. Biosafety and public consultation. Risk assessment and public participation are key parts of approval process for GMOs. And also stakeholders, including farmers, scientists, and NGOs, are consulted before releasing biotech products. And field testing of GMOs is strictly monitored by regulatory bodies. So, biosafety assessment and public involvement are essentials. Then, sa ethical and environmental considerations, we have ethical guidelines ensures that biotech application respects human rights, animal welfare, and environmental sustainability. And also environmental monitoring prevention. Nanatay question na sad, sige ratag pangutana. Question number 4. Why is public consultation important before approving a GMO for commercial use? Otro, why is public consultation important before approving a GMO for commercial use? Question number 4 na to siya, guys. Next is dili pa day. Next is challenges in biotechnology regulations. So we have limited public understanding of biosafety. overlapping function among regulatory agencies, fast scientific advances like CRISPR that outpace existing laws, and also lack of regional cooperation, and balancing innovation versus environmental safety. And for future directions. So for future directions to improve biotech governance, the Philippines must strengthen biosafety capacity and training. Train more expert in this is to train more expert in biosafety. Next is enhance collaboration between government, academia, and private sectors. This is to improve cooperation between public and private sectors, and also promote public awareness campaigns on GMOs and biotech safety, and update laws to cover emerging technologies, gene editing, synthetic biology, and nanobiotech. Muna siya update laws for new technologies, for ensure inclusive policymaking with community participation. Ang question number 5 is first question: how can the Philippines prepare its laws and institutions to keep up with future biotechnology developments? Otro, how can the Philippines prepare its laws and institutions to keep up with future biotechnology developments? Proceed sa slide 14. So, international biotechnology regulation. Early years early years of biotechnology on 1940s to 1970s, DNA structure discovered in 1953, and also gene splicing in 1970s, and Asilomar Conference on 1975 set the first safety guidelines. And in biotechnology and commercialized on 1980s. Government began regulating GMOs and patents. And also global discussion on biosafety, trade, intellectual property. Biotechnology grew into a commercial industry. Next is the start of global governance on 1990s. The United Nations and other global organizations started to take biotechnology regulations seriously. So in 1992, Convention on Biological Diversity signed foundation of global biotech rules, and the World Trade Organization formed impacts trade of biotech products. This this decade marked the beginning of formal global governance. And next is establishing biosafety and ethical rules on 2000. In year 2000, the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety was adopted under the Convention of Biodiversity, or CBD, which became the main international agreement for safe handling and use of GMOs. And also, the protocol introduced the precautionary principle and the Advance Informed Agreement, agreement system for cross-border movement of GMOs. Other conventions began addressing related issues like Nagoya Protocol in 2010 for fair sharing of benefits from genetic resources, and also UNESCO Declaration on 1997, 2003 to 2005. This focused on human genetic and bioethics, and also the WHO issues global health and biotechnology safety guidelines. New new technologies and broader governance on 2010 to the present. This year new technologies and new tools created new issues. So new biotech tools like CRISPR, gene editing, synthetic biology, and gene drives raised fresh questions about safety, ethics, and global fairness. International discussion expanded to include a biosecurity. This is to prevent the misuse of biotechnology like biological weapons, and B is access and benefit sharing. This is for genetic data and digital sequence information, and C is ethical issues. This is in human genome editing. So today, global biotechnology governance focuses on balancing innovation and safety, ensuring ethical use of biotechnology, protecting biodiversity and human rights, and also promoting cooperation between developed and developing countries. So the relationship between biotechnology and international law. Why does biotech need international law or regulation? Biotechnology needs international law because it cross borders, affect global health and food security, involves international trade, international law like protects people and nature, prevents misuse, ensures transparency, sets shared standards, and promote fairness. Challenges and gaps is global issues including different country regulation, weak enforcement, rapid innovation, and biosecurity threats and this highlight the need for stronger and updated global policies. Next is international conventions affecting biotechnology. This includes Convention on Biological Diversity, Convention on Biological Diversity is a comprehensive treaty with three main objectives. This ang three main objective is conserving biological diversity, using its components sustainably, and sharing the benefits from the utilization of genetic resources equitably, like the parent tree of all biotech rules. It focuses on protecting biodiversity, using biological resources wisely, and making sure benefits like profit from plant genes are shared fairly. International convention affecting biotechnology also includes Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety, a supplementary agreement to the Convention on Biological Diversity focused on the safe handling, transport, and use of living modified organisms resulting from modern biotechnology, ensuring they do not adversely affect biodiversity. It regulates transboundary movement of GMOs, ensuring countries knows that what kind of modified organism is being imported, and also setting rules for safe handling and transport. And it also includes international treaty on plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. This addresses the conversion and sustainable use of plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. It covers access to plant genetic resources, fair sharing of benefits, and also conserving plant diversity. And World Intellectual Property Organization Convention. This concerns intellectual property, which is highly relevant to biotechnology, patents, and innovation. It influences patents on biotech inventions, protecting of genetically modified seeds, and also rights of inventors versus farmers. Next is Nagoya Protocol on Access and Benefit Sharing. It ensures that when genetic resources are used for research and biotechnology, the benefits are shared fairly and equitably with the country or community. It promotes conservation of biodiversity and fairness in the global use of biological resources. And also in Biological Weapons Convention, the first multilateral disarmament treaty banning an entirely category of weapon of mass destruction, and its goal is to prevent the misuse of biological research and biotechnology for hostile purposes like toxin-based weapons. So, muni siya ang nagban atong ginagamit atong World War I nga kuan kat panggas, panggas. And main provisions and in main provisions, prohibition on development and possession, destruction of existing weapons, peaceful use of biotechnology, and international cooperation. And Convention on Biological Diversity or CBD. The Convention on Biological Diversity is an international agreement created to conserve the world's biological diversity, ensure its sustainable use, and promote the fair sharing of benefits from genetic resources. It encourages countries to protect and ecosystems and species while allowing responsible development, including biotechnology. The Convention on Biological Diversity also serves as the foundation for the other agreements like the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety and the Nagoya Protocol. And that's all. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. Cooperation money.
Finally,
Bye-bye.
finally.
Oh, 5 na to.
Ito malasing ko, bibi.
Kumata na
Oh, then isend na yun sa GC.